Hey, good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. It's 8 o'clock a.m. and here again with you. Morning tea. Having my tea this morning. Today is True Berry. And these are all through the Celestial seasoning, and their fruit teas are really, really good. So good morning. Every morning good morning, Sandra. How are you today? It looks like it's me and you this morning so far. So I'm going to go ahead and get things started with a prayer, and then we'll talk about all the good stuff. I want you to share today, because even if we don't have a lot of people on the live this morning, excuse me, I want you to talk about what you did yesterday with the with Helping Hands, and how successful it was. So you can just put that stuff in the chat, because I think it's important to let everybody know what Helping Hands is up to. So this morning, we'll go ahead and start with a prayer. Lord, as I wake up into another day, I bring unto you all of my thoughts, plans, and actions of this day. I offer you everything so that you may work it out with me and through me. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to shine, to choose the best besides any other thing, and make an accomplishment that is guided by your will. Please give me to the things that I need today, and as I go out, cover me with your strength and your shield, so that my life may continue to reflect you and praise you. Be with us today, Heavenly Father. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, Davette, how are you? I hope everybody had a good weekend today. So I don't know, Davette, if you've joined the lives previously, or caught them on the replay, but every morning I do this morning tea. Today is True Berry Day from the Celestial Seasonings pack. So we start with our prayer, and then we do some announcements, and then we talk about the topic of the day. And I encourage people to if there's something that you want to talk about, or something that's touched your heart over the daily, each day, put that in the live chat, because I try to come up with topics based on things that I've encountered over time, or on a particular day, and give examples and stuff like that. But my life isn't all that interesting, so at some point in time I'm going to run out of things to talk about. So if you have a topic, please drop it in the chat box. So let's start with our announcements this morning. Someone reached out to me a couple of days ago, and they're looking for a 4-bedroom rental either in Norfolk, Chesapeake, or Virginia Beach. And I don't have any investment property that's available right now, but I know a lot of people tune into the live, or at least watch the replay. So if you know of a private owner who has a 4-bedroom apartment or home that they are willing to rent, I have someone who's very much interested. They need to move by May 1st, I think it was, and the budget is somewhere around between $1,200 and $1,400 a month. That's their budget. So if you know of anybody, please put your feelers out, so that this is a community where we try to help people. So the more people who are involved in helping, the better off we all are. So that's announcement number one. Also, I had a friend of mine who is a job recruiter, who joined either the last live on Friday, or maybe Thursday, I can't remember, but she is a recruiter, and she has 3 remote underwriting positions that are open right now. Um, Underwriters are mortgage people, and they're the people who approve or evaluate the loans and render a decision, hopefully a favorable decision. But anyway, there's some experience involved with that. So if you know of anybody who is in the mortgage business, who's looking for a job as an underwriter, please reach out to me and let me know so that I could forward that information over. Also, she does all types of recruiting, so it's not just underwriters. So if you know of somebody who's in need of work, please connect them with me so that I can connect them with her. So there's that announcement. On April 6th, I'm doing a live workshop. It's for people who are transitioning from working on site and then going into working from home. So it's just a presentation that I've put together just to kind of talk to people, about what that looks like. As many of you know, I've been working from home for years, and when I'm not on the road traveling, and believe it or not, there is a method to it. It's not just the perks of getting up and just sitting at your computer all day. There's some time management and some self-management and just certain skills that you should have in order to get the most out of your day and be as productive as you possibly can, especially those who have children at home and families, because everybody's home right now, so you don't really have a lot of me time. So we'll talk about that. That's on April 6th at 6 to 8, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on April 6th. Tickets are on Eventbrite. This event is a paid event. I offer a lot of free things, but this one is not for free. So tickets are $35. If you're a member of my workshop, my peer-to-peer workshop, you get a discount. Or if you're a member of TCE, I'm also giving a discount as well. But you can take a look at Eventbrite for the details on that. On April 7th, I will be hosting on Zoom. The other meeting is on Zoom as well. Homebuyer education. We do that once a month through Helping Hands. And this month it is going to be on Zoom due to the coronavirus. And that's on Eventbrite as well. And that is a free event. Okay. There's no charge for that. So if you know of anybody who is thinking about buying a house or just wants some information, some education, free education on homeownership, have them join. It's a really good class, and it's basically an environment where you can just come in and ask questions, and I'll just feed you with the knowledge that I have. On May 21st, Helping Hands and TSM Mortgage Professionals will be hosting another networking event. This is something, hey Janine, how are you? Thanks for joining this morning. If you are interested in doing some social networking, we hold that every month as well. If we are not out of this quarantine by then, we will be hosting that social networking event online using Zoom. So let everybody know that as well. It's just an opportunity for people to get together and, talk about what they do and, just enjoy some time with people, just chatting and talking. And with Zoom, you can actually, I know like on the Facebook Live, you guys just hear me talking and then you're typing questions and things of that nature. But on Zoom, we can actually, see each other and engage with each other. So I think that's going to be a perfect platform for our networking event. So that's on May 21st from 7 to 9 p.m. I think that is all that I have for announcements. Again, I've got Sandra here as well, and she did some great, field work yesterday with Helping Hands. Excuse me. And so I've just asked her to share some things in the chat box in the live in regards to what she did yesterday. It lended itself to grab and go bags, toiletries for people who were in need. And she shared with me yesterday that it was really, really successful. So, those are things that we're just trying to do through the nonprofit, just to help people. Because there are a lot of people who are in need right now. And whatever we can do, big or small, if we can help, we want to try and do that. Visit our website, helpinghandsresourceinc.com, to get involved. Thanks, Sandra. She's putting information in here. She says it was amazing. We stayed safe and cautious, but fed over 100 people and gave out diapers in sizes ranging from newborn to 5 years of age, all free of charge. Everything that we do is free through Helping Hands. Everybody was very appreciative. We went and set up right in their community. We gave hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, fruit, snacks, and snow cones. So just one of the great things that Helping Hands does on a regular basis as we can. And we're also looking for volunteers, guys. So if you want to be involved, we want you to be involved. So we do postings all the time on the things that we're doing and the projects that we're doing. I know it's somewhat difficult right now to get out. But whatever you're willing to do, we're willing to have you. There is a button to donate on the website. We're also always looking for donations because, as I stated earlier, and every time I'm on this live, that everything that Helping Hands does right now either comes from Sandra's pocket or my pocket, or that's how we're funding this right now. So we need the community's help. We really do. So, if you have, anything that you can provide, clothing, food, toiletries, cash, anything that you can do, we put that stuff to good work. We really do. So, consider helping us if it is within your means to be able to do so. So that's all that I had for our announcements, unless, there's, you guys put something in the chat box or something that you want me to talk about. So let's go ahead and move into today's topic, which is perseverance. So I'm going to start by saying, every morning it's kind of like Facebook is like my newspaper. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. I really don't. But one of the first things that I do in the morning is I get up and I sort of scroll, through Facebook just to see what's happening, and I'm not a Facebook stalker or a Facebook troll. I actually comment on the things that I see that are, and I share things that I feel like, are good to share. But the other day I was on Facebook and I saw this word find. I don't know if anybody else did it, but I do those like name test things and some of the little games and whatnot that are on Facebook. And it was a word find that was on Facebook. And it said something to the effect of, the first, write down the first 3 words that you see. And so I did it. And for a minute, it took me, I used to be really good at these word finds, but I don't know, as I age, I don't know if it's just my eyes or whatever, but it's sometimes tough. So it took me a minute to actually get through and find these words. But the words that I found were so profound. This is why I wanted to talk about perseverance today. The first word was wade, W-A-D-E, like wade in the water, right? The second word was sank, S-A-N-K, all right? And the third word was purpose. So I had wade, sank, and purpose are the three words that popped up, or that the three words that I saw first. And so I'm a really firm believer in, God, like, speaking to me through whatever channels he can speak to me in. And so my brain went immediately there, and I'm like, wow, wade, sank, and purpose. These words are related. They are so related. So what I did was I went to the dictionary online, and I looked up the formal meaning of each of these words, right? So, and I said that because most of the time there's like multiple meanings, right? And then different forms and tenses of the word and, things of that nature. So I said, okay, whatever the first thing pops up when I look at these definitions, that's what I'm going to go with. So wade, the definition that came up for wade was to walk through water. Walk through water. Okay. The first definition that came up for the word sank was go down below the surface, to go down below the surface of something. Okay. And then for purpose, what popped up was reason for which something is done. So purpose, definition of purpose is the reason for which something is done. So that alone, if you're following me right now, is profound, right? It's deep. I'm a deep thinker, so this is not just surface stuff for me. This is really deep. So let's go back to wade, walk through water. So what does that mean in a spiritual sense, in a professional sense, in just a emotional sense, right? So when you're wading through water, part of your body is, submerged into, is that the right word, submerged or immersed? You know what I mean. So part of your body is in the water, right? And you're, just trying to stay afloat. You're wading in the water. Okay. And then everybody knows what sank, or that's the past tense of the word sink, right? So you go down below the surface. Okay. So you're wading in the water, and then all of a sudden you're sinking. Oh my gosh, you're sinking. What happens, right? And then purpose. I thought purpose kind of was an interesting word, because the definition was the reason for which something is done. So immediately my mind went to, okay, the struggles in life, right? The struggles that we're dealing with now with coronavirus, the struggles that we're dealing with work. People are getting laid off. People are going through, a struggle right now. They're wading in the water, okay? Trying to stay above float, or above the water, keeping their head, but they're below the water. Their feet are just like kicking just to stay afloat. So at the top of the water, you see this part, right? And we're just kind of wading in the water, or that's what you see from the neck up, right, or the waist up. What we don't see is our feet are below, like, doing this, so even when I do this motion, right, you see my head's not going like this. My head is staying straight, but my feet below the water are like going nuts. Okay. And that's what's happening right now in the world with people. Like, we are struggling to stay above the water. We are wading in the water. Feet are kicking like crazy, but up top, we're all, looking like, okay, we can handle this. So, that's what I got from that. That's what I got from that word. And then sank, you go down below the surface, at some point in time, our feet give out. We get tired. We get weary. We can't stay afloat anymore. It's hard, So what happens in that sense, we either have someone, hopefully someone who can, help us, our life jacket, our lifeline, who can kind of help us, continue to wade through those waters, those muddy waters, the stormy waters that we're dealing with right now. But some of us don't. Some of us don't have, that lifeline that they can, use to sort of keep them afloat. So some people sink and go below the surface, right? But purpose, what that told me is that there is a reason, and I've talked about this several times in my lives, there's a reason that these things happen. We don't know what that reason is a lot of times, but there's always a reason. And then after that struggle, right, we resurface. Many of us do. Some people are not able to resurface for many reasons. But many of us do resurface. And when we resurface, okay, we find ourselves in a new place. Okay. And generally it's a better place. It's a place of resolution. It's a place of calmness. The storm has, washed away, and here we are, this new person, right? And so those of us who get through waiting and sinking and then resurfacing, we find our purpose. Okay. And that to me, so I thought, okay, how can I connect all of these things? How can I do that? And so the word, to me came perseverance, right? So define the word, perseverance. The word perseverance means not giving up, staying the path to the very end, and trusting the plan. Okay. So, you can apply that however you want to apply it. You can apply it in your life. If you're dealing with something right now and you're just, trying to make it through, that your personal life, you can, apply that to your professional life. Maybe you have a job that you don't like, and you want something better, and, but you're just struggling, you're just, wading in the water, right? Struggling until, something better, your lifeline comes along, something better comes along, or until, you sink and you say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. And you find a way, to lift yourself, through that water, to come back above the surface of the water, and then find your purpose. So again, perseverance is not giving up, staying the path to the very end, and trusting in the plan. So just stay the course. That's basically what the word perseverance means. So to me, all of those things were connected, and it's crazy that, that's what came to me that day, So I don't know, if you guys are scrolling through Facebook and you see it, I neglected to share it, and I'm not sure why I didn't share it this time, because I don't think I put it on my timeline. I guess I was so excited about seeing those words, and my brain just started thinking, how can I make this a topic of conversation, that I just forgot to share it. But that's what came up today, and it was on my heart to speak to it. So I hope you guys got something out of that this morning. It is coming upon 8:30, and this is a short one this morning. I don't see any comments. Well, let me just, maybe there's no comments, but there might be. Okay, Sandra's got her, got the website up there. If you know of a community that needs assistance, have them contact us, and the contact information. I don't see anything else. Thank you, Sandra, for putting that information in there. Yes, we are, always looking for people to help with helping hands, right? So today's task before we get going is I want you to think of instances where you had to apply perseverance. And I'm sure there's many, many instances, especially right now while we're dealing with, these unprecedented times. I mean, this is history, guys. And hopefully, we'll be able to walk away from this, with a story to tell and we become, or we get to a better place as a result of this. Maybe there's a lesson to be learned. Who knows? Well, as an educator, in adult learning, there's always a lesson to be learned. But hopefully, we're in the waiting process in this coronavirus. I think, we're trying to walk through water. We're trying to, stay afloat to see what happens. And along the way, we're losing people. People are dying every day, and things are changing on a drastic basis as a result of this virus. So sometimes we talked about this in one of my lives before. Sometimes, the struggle is a part of the preparation for something greater. And, maybe that's what this is. I know that right now we're all forced to think outside of the box when it comes to our careers, when it comes to our businesses from an entrepreneurial, perspective. There's lots of people who have lost their jobs. There's lots of people who are losing money in their businesses right now. But it's an opportunity. I always try to see the good in everything, sometimes to a fault. But this is an opportunity for us to think outside of the box, to come up with new ideas, to push us forward in our thinking, to, create new jobs or new opportunities for ourselves, new inventions, things people are thinking of ways. And unfortunately, sometimes it comes through, tragedy and chaos that these things happen. And, sometimes it also comes from people trying to monopolize or capitalize on, something that's not so great. So it got people making all these masks, which is a good thing, as long as it's being, done for a good purpose and good reason, and there's good intent behind it. But I thought about this morning as I was making my tea. I was like, what if it takes a really long time to for this thing to go away? At some point in time, we have to start being able to move on with our lives, and being able to connect with people. I'm sure, some of these virtual platforms, they're making a killing right now because people are taking classes and they're, trying to learn, so that they can be successful in the environment that we're in right now. But there's going to be other things that are coming out too. People are going to figure out a way to connect with people outside of the walls of their home, because people can't stay in their homes forever. It's not in our nature to be able to do so. So I don't know, like some of these movies that have been out, that we watched years and years ago, people in, these hazmat suits and, kind of like walking in space or whatever, but people are going to find a way. They're going to invent something for us to get out and connect with people, on a personal level. There's going to be a way. I know it, so hopefully it doesn't get to that point and we can, just get through this, find a cure, or a vaccination or, something to try and manage and contain this thing. I hope we can. But in the meantime, it's survival, right? Everybody's in survival mode, trying to figure out, how do I still continue my quality of life, my quality of living in this environment? How do we do that? So we persevere. That's what we do. We become resourceful. We think outside of the box and we persevere. And we'll get through this. So again, task is think of instances where you had to apply perseverance. And then what did you learn in that process? We'll go back to purpose, the reason for which something is done or something has happened, right? So that's what I task you with today. We're right at 8:30 this morning. Thank you guys so much for joining, those of you who did join this morning. And then I will, oh, hey, Cassandra, girl, I have not seen you or talked to you in ages. Thanks so much for joining my live. How are you? How are the babies? And they're getting so big. How's Jazz doing? Gosh, we need to catch up. We really do. I want to know what's going on in your life and how things are going. How the business is going, how the restaurant's going. They have Cassandra and her husband, they live in Northern Virginia or Maryland, Northern Virginia area, and they have a Island Spice Grill. Okay, and their food is phenomenal. It is so good. Jerk chicken, that's my favorite. But they have really great food. So if you're in the Northern Virginia area, go check out Island Spice Grill. The food is phenomenal. So there's your plug, Cassandra. I hope everything is well with you guys. I really would like to connect with you again, just to kind of see how things are going with you and the kids and Jazz. All right. So I don't see anybody else here on the live. So I'm going to end it here. Again, if you have a topic that you want to share and you'd like us to speak upon, please feel free to drop it in the chat box. So, we have some material and we can have more engagement. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all today and I hope everybody has a blessed day. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Bye-bye.